What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Let It Rip. I'm Jake, and today I'm here with my fellow coaches, Harsha and Junkbuck. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
After losing yesterday, we thought it'd be best to have the coaches come on and talk about things, let the players, rest and recuperate, talk about our perspectives on the match and, where we're gonna go from here, basically. All right, guys, so I guess let's get into the nitty gritty. Like from each of your POVs, and I guess I'll go first. I wanna talk about just like what's like the number one mistake we made yesterday. I guess I could probably speak for all of us when I say that probably the number one mistake was just our confidence. We just thought Shock would win, to be honest. We prepped for Shock and we were just caught unawares by how strong Fuel was on the day of, We definitely could have played better against Fuel, but they were also a stronger team than personally I had thought them to be.
Well, I think that we both underprepared, but also then overcompensated for underpreparing. So we, like you said, we just thought Shock would be going on and we'd be facing them, but then also when Fuel turned out to be our opponent, we had made a lot of last minute adjustments and, counter comps that we didn't practice and stuff like that. So I think in the end, it was just a preparation error rather than the team playing better or anything like that. We just made a lot of mistakes with our approach and got caught unaware.
Yeah, our approach was wrong. I think that was the biggest mistake. That was the biggest issue. Yeah, nothing much more than that, I guess. Just we overthought it.
Yeah, I feel like our lessons from this are strategic lessons about prepping for the tournament for multiple possible opponents, having a more balanced approach there and
keep it simple, don't be complacent.
Stay with what we're good at rather than forcing, things to get too weird to just counter what they're playing.
Yeah.
So because Dallas was such a unique opponent, right, and they also don't play the meta that the rest of the teams play, I think that was another reason why we shouldn't have overthought it, but we did. And I think definitely after their performance yesterday, you have to respect them as a team, right? Even without a hit scan player, they're making it work. So I think, especially with the Hero Pool tournament coming up, I think that'll be, really unpredictable right from right now. We have no idea what the Hero Pool will be, and that could completely change things. It's a lesson to us to have a more level head when
we're never making that mistake ever again. It's never gonna happen.
I think yesterday, it's good that it happened early because we can't get complacent anymore.
Yes.
We know we have to think about every possibility and be prepared for it. So I think it's good that it happened early.
At least it happened early.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about, obviously, it sucks to lose 3-0, even worse, but perspective on the whole tournament cycle, right? On what the qualifiers that brought us here, us being a new team coming together. I mean, in the end, maybe it's my year off, so I'm kind of changed mentally, where before I would really beat myself up so badly after losing and be so depressed and just want to play rank for 12 hours a day for the next week and just nothing would really change and I would just be down. Now I feel my perspective is more holistic and I'm not going to change my actual, if I feel my routine is the best routine for performance, then I'm going to keep doing that and the loss isn't going to change that. So for me, overall, I still feel proud of what we accomplished. To be 4-0, at least in the regular season matches, to be looking toward overall playoffs. My mindset is one of yeah, it all sucks, but these lessons we're talking about, I want to learn those lessons and I want to move on. I want to just get past it and next tournament, let's win the next 4 qualifiers. Let's get back into the next tournament. That's my mindset, is just really forward looking.
That's good. That'll be good. Since it'll be good for you to never think about where move on, and it'll be good for us to never forget about it and always have it in our minds forever.
I think this match has to just make us more hungry. We got so close and then didn't qualify in the end. So I think we have to feel starved of that treat at the end, basically.
That we should have gotten there and we'll have to get there again.
I'm taking this hatred with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to it.
I know what you mean. There's certain moments in my Overwatch career and matches that sometimes I can't even remember the rest of the match, or I don't even remember who my opponent was. But I just know I did something that was just so dumb, and my misplay in the game is it lives forever with me. I could specifically recall. I'll spare you the stories, but there's definitely some that are just engraved into my mind. I just that story is why I know not to get overhyped and when you're about to win a match. That story is why I know, you can't get too down on yourself. That story is why, so it's all these lessons learned, and then the reasons for them are painful, but I guess they're gonna stay with us forever. That's just the nature of this job, really. To a brighter subject, I guess, looking forward to the next tournament. We're gonna take some time off because we don't know the hero pool for the next tournament, so practicing is kind of irrelevant, considering things are gonna change drastically. There will be a new map pool as well. So there's not really too much we can gain, I guess, in the short term. But when we get that hero pool, when we get back to the grind, what are your guys' perspectives on that, on getting into the next tournament?
Yeah, looking at the Brave side, at least we're gonna have a longer break than the other teams, the teams who made it, right? And so I think because our team, I know that our team tried the hardest out of every other team. We started first, we played the most, we practiced the most. We just tried hard the most of all the teams. So I'm glad that our team got to get this break that they deserve. So we're gonna take this as like a full reset for us to come back and then play from the top status again.
We'll look for like another 4-0 stage, and then we'll prepare adequately for the tournament. That's just how it's gonna have to be. So it is good, like Jung said, like we worked the hardest. Like you were playing in Korean times, like with half our team in NA, just like we're putting in a lot of hours for sure. And I think that it's good to have at least some time off. So we just have to come back with a better approach next time, basically.
Yeah, totally agree. Personally, I'm excited. Like I like the idea of like hero pools and like wacky metas that can only exist because of the hero pool. So I'm actually really excited for the next tournament. I think even though this one went all right for us in terms of having a 4-0 record for the regular season matches, then I'm really excited for like the craziness that the tournament's gonna bring. Like we could see big shifts in how strong teams are, but I want us to stay at the top.
Yeah.
That to me is like I want us to go. Maybe we can rise. Maybe we need to rise even higher, considering this result. Like we need to be even better than we were, even more consistent, even more comfortable with the meta. And this meta was pretty wild too, even without the hero pool. So I think who knows what to expect, and I'm just excited to like dive into that once we're back from the break.
I think we got to play like a lot of comps at a high level, and then so that means that like we're just like a very flexible team. So I think it'll be good to, even if we have a hero pool, we'll be able to adapt to anything.
I do feel really confident about that. Like adaptability, like from a strategic perspective, I'm excited because I feel like it's open for us. Like any strategy we think is going to work based on the hero pool, we can deploy and practice and see if it's actually good, and we'll know for sure because it won't be because our players can't play it. It'll be, we'll actually get to learn the strategy because we can play it all. So that to me is really exciting from like a coaching strategic perspective, that it's really open for us to just play what we think is the best. Yeah, so one other thing I wanted to ask you guys about is, for the teams competing in the tournament, who do you think is going to come out on top? How do you think it's going to shake out, especially in my mind between East and West regions, right? Like very different metas we've seen in each region, and how's it going to shake out when they actually go head to head?
I think since all the teams that likes to play Rush are out, there's just going to be a lot of ball and Winston mirroring. So I think that'll be really interesting. It'll be like a battle to who has the best dive comps among 4 of them, and especially since Apex's been playing without Rush, I feel like they'll be also happy that they don't have to mirror the Rush as much anymore. So it'll be interesting. So that's why I think of 4 teams, and if the dive is gonna be dominant, then obviously all the Dallas Fuel people, a lot of people agree that they have a really good dive, so they might perform well, but I still think Shanghai in the end is gonna come up top.
Yeah, I think it's really, for me, it feels really unpredictable because everybody has such different styles, but then like the only team that plays Rush in the tournament is gonna be Dallas, and they play, well, the only team that's been practicing a lot of Rush, I guess, is Dallas, and they don't play it with the hit scan, so it's like,
yeah, so they can't play Rush.
They can't really play Rush against like the
you can play the Rush mirror without the Kree, but you can't play the Rush versus dive without the Kree. That's where Kree is really critical. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they adapt. They could bring out more of the Moira comps or just play mirror Rush of their own, or mirror dive of their own rather. But I do think Fearless Winston, he's played incredibly well. So I think Fuel has a real shot at like going far in the tournament. They upset us, they upset the Shock. So clearly, for me, it was like there was strategic errors we could have done better. But I think even if we had prepared for this match, it would have been close. Like I don't think it would have ever been a stomp in our favor, because I think in the end, like, they just had really good players, like especially in the dive comps with, you know, even though they're not playing like hit scan dive, I mean, Fearless and Hanbin in particular, I think played really, really well, and they're going to be really strong. Like that tank core is going to be really strong for them, which I think matters a lot when you play the dive.
I think the one issue that Dallas is gonna have though is gonna be how they're gonna be good at ball comp, because the Mayhem and Shanghai is gonna play the ball comps well. So I'm not sure if Dallas will be able to. So I think that's why, even though they can do well in the Winston Mirrors, whenever they are forced to play ball, they're gonna have a hard time probably.
I hope Dallas and Shanghai play so it can be Fearless versus Shanghai, and then we can see who comes out on top.
Aren't they're both the 2 seeds, right?
Yeah.
It'll have to be.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's also double elimination, so there's a lot of chances for them to meet.
Yeah, that'll be a really exciting match. Honestly, I think anyone could win it. You know, even Florida. I think Florida has surprised a lot of teams.
So I think it's either gonna be Shanghai or Florida, but I'll give the edge to Shanghai.
You want to make a final prediction?
I'll say Shanghai too, but I feel really unsure, especially because I feel like Chengdu shouldn't win, but then they win all these series that I feel like they shouldn't win.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's so hard to predict right
Hard
now.
to write them off.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, like they've you know, made it work even though they're playing comp somebody else plays.
Yeah, it's like hard to give. I want to say like 25% for each, but then I'll give the biggest chance to Shanghai.
Yeah, I agree. It's really close. You know, I'm gonna throw the dark horse pick. I'm gonna say I think Fuel's gonna win it all. I think they're gonna bring it back.
Wow, bold prediction.
I'm gonna say Fearless go crazy with the primal. So
yeah, but they're gonna have a hard time against ball defense.
yeah, that could be true. That could be true. Yeah, then it'll be up to Sparkle, I think, to really have a great performance. But I think even he's been playing well in the Tracer. So yeah, maybe in the end the ball defense with the map picking is gonna be too hard for them.
Yeah.
I guess it does come down to that.
Just whenever the ball team loses a map, they're just gonna choose ball defense maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching. Everyone, the fans at home, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks to Zenny and HEB for making this show possible, for sponsoring the Outlaws. We really appreciate their partnership. We also want to especially appreciate the fans who have supported us, you know, through thick and thin. There's been tougher times for the Outlaws, you know, that I was there for. So I guess from my perspective, I still feel like we have a lot to be excited about. We have a lot to be proud of. And I hope, you know, the fans are going to be along with us for this journey. Like, we're going to be back at it in the next tournament cycle, and hopefully able to rise even higher and you know, earn our way to that final tournament and hopefully perform well there. So thanks for watching, everybody, and peace and love.